Here's how to build size without stress. In today's video, I'm gonna go over 3 things that you can do to build size without putting a lot of stress on your body, and that will help you build muscle quickly. The first thing I'm gonna go over is low volume. You don't need to put up shit tons of weight to build muscle. If you want to be stronger, putting up a shit ton of weight is great, but doing low volume can also help you get stronger as well. But in the term of building muscle, the whole point is you want to make sure that you're hitting every muscle fiber. You want to make sure that you're exhausting the muscle completely. And this is great to do when you're doing low volume. You have more control of the exercise. You're able to put more intention to each muscle that you're moving. I don't know how many times I've seen people who say they're lifting for muscle, but yet they're not even being able to do full range of motion. You can lower the weight and get a full range of motion. And when you're doing this and you're hitting full range of motion, you don't want to cheat yourself when you get to the end of your reps. You want to make sure every rep looks the same, every rep hits the same. And the way to gauge, even if it's low volume, but the weight was good for you to get what you're looking for, is to make sure by the time you reach the end of your working set that your reps still feel easy. Because yes, we want low volume, but if you normally, let's say, dumbbell curl 80 pounds, you dumbbell curling 10 pounds is not going to be that beneficial. You can literally just drop it down 50% or maybe even 25%, that 50 to 25%, and see what works best for you. So, like I said, if you're dumbbell curling 80, drop to 40 or even look at 50s, and then you can do your curls for muscle. There are even times at the gym where you could see guys curling 20 pounds to build muscle and build size. We don't need to lift heavy weight to build muscle quickly. And with that, we want to make sure that we're lifting with a high intensity. High intensity doesn't always mean fast and explosive. It means we're pushing and we're lifting with a purpose. We're not just throwing the weight around. We're making sure that we're moving weight with the intention for that muscle to grow. So again, thinking on that curl, lifting with intensity isn't just fucking lifting fast, but making sure that we're lifting full range of motion, getting full extension, and we're getting up, we're squeezing, and we're making sure that we have a good weight, that we're not just able to do something with an extreme amount of reps. So a good way to think about it is you're not lifting with much intensity if you're able to lift that weight 50 times. If you're able to lift that weight 11 to 15 times comfortably without having to do any rocking and experiencing that muscle fatigue when you start getting to the end of that rep range, and you're still able to complete the movement, you're still able to stay in that tempo, and you still have control, those are things you want to look for. You want to avoid, like I said, the rocking and the throwing. You're using your core, trying to jump and use momentum, something that you can just lift with speed and you're not really getting anything out of the movement, because we're here to build muscle, right? We're not here to just throw weight around. You have to keep that in mind with the movements you choose and the weights you choose when you're going to work out. And high protein, simply with protein, I know a lot of people say to eat 1 gram of protein for how much body weight you weigh, and that should be keeping it simple. There is a way to gauge it because literally every person is different. Some people can eat more protein to gain more muscle. Some people don't need as much protein to gain more muscle. You have to go based off of how your body's performing, based off what you're doing. If you're eating your calories and you're eating this number of protein and hitting it consistently, and you're like, well, I'm struggling to build muscle, it sounds like you need to eat more protein. You need to adjust based off what your body is doing and not look at everyone else's body. I know for me, if I eat 1 gram of protein per pound, I don't really gain muscle. I have to eat more protein for my weight. I personally eat 260 grams of protein. And getting protein is easy. A lot of people try to think, oh, it's so hard. I don't know how I'm going to get this protein consistently. Where's all this protein going to come from? Start your day with protein. Super easy. People start their day off with quick things to go, fruit, salad, that could be fine, but it's super easy to start your day with protein. If you don't have time to cook a breakfast and you're on the go, protein shake can be your first meal and have a protein shake as your last meal. If you do 2 scoops of protein, my scoop of protein is 20 grams per scoop. 2 in the morning, 2 at night, that's 80 grams of it. It's 80 grams that I know I'm going to have. And then I could fill in the rest of the day, making sure I get protein in, making protein snacks. Another way, if you cook and you meal prep at home, making protein desserts if you have a sweet tooth, and making protein snacks. There's a lot of ways to get protein in when you make those, and there's a lot of different ways to make protein snacks. You can add protein powder to the stuff that you're making. You can add PB2 powder. Cottage cheese is a good way to sneak protein in to certain meals. And that's another thing, when you are meal prepping and you trying to make sure you get protein in or trying to figure out how to sneak protein in. Again, cottage cheese is a good way. You could sneak that into sauces and pastas. You can sneak that into anything that's going to be cheesy already. Another thing with snacks, like I said, PB2 powder is great. You can use that. I mix that with peanut butter as well. They have protein milks. There are certain things that you can do to adjust to add protein in here and there. You don't have to solely rely on meat sources during every meal to get protein in. You just have to be more creative about how you're doing so. If you are, it makes getting protein in easier, and plus you won't get this fatigue from just eating. If you were to have, let's say, steak at every meal, or even steak for snack, you would reach this fatigue at some point of just having steak. It might even get gross to you. So there are different ways that we can do it. There are different foods that we can make. We just have to adjust and make it easier on ourselves to get this protein in. One of the things that I like to do outside of just, like I said, getting that protein shake in the morning and getting a protein shake at night, one of the snacks I like to make is a banana sushi roll. It's literally a low-calorie tortilla, PB2 powder, make that into a peanut butter, put that on the tortilla, and cut a banana inside, roll it up. You can either eat it straight like that, or you can put it on a pan, grill it, and then add cinnamon after that. It's great, low calorie, and depending on how much PB2 powder you use, if you use just the serving size, that's 9 grams of protein right there. Or at least that's how I make it. I don't remember what the serving size is exactly, but I get it. That's 9 grams of protein and super easy. When you do it with the serving size, it's like 7 grams of protein. And you can make a few of them. You can adjust how much PB2 powder you use to get even more protein in. So there are ways to get in protein. It's not impossible. For more information, subscribe. You can also book a call, and we can help figure out how you can get more protein and help you build more muscle. Until next time.